Hello, everyone. It is Sarah here with Purple Angel Oracle. Today, I'm going to be discussing something that many of my current subscribers might already be aware of, might have already heard me discuss here and there, but I'm just really organizing it all into one video here. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. And if this resonates with you, definitely hit that subscribe button. Leave me some comments. I'd love to hear your insights, and I love, when my subscribers share with me. Also, if you would like to know more about me and what kind of brought me to this point, I do have a video kind of explaining how I got to where I'm at right now. And I will put a link to that video down below in the description box. Just a short introduction though. Ever since I can remember, for as long as I can remember, I've had a very deep connection with what we would call God or source or the angels, what's outside of this reality that we're in. And it's a connection I cannot easily explain. But everything I'm sharing, this is knowledge and wisdom I've gained myself. This is from seeking my entire life, from asking these questions, for asking God, just straight up asking God to show me. And so this is stuff I've just seen, I've learned. My dad has been on this journey with me as well. And it's gotten to a point where this resonates as truth for us, okay? And it will not resonate with everyone. It's not meant to. But I just want to make this for those who may be just waking up or are seeking right now. And it might hit you as truth, and it might confirm things that you already know. And I'm saying that this resonates as truth for me in this now moment because, as we all know, we're ever changing, we're constantly evolving, and we're gaining new wisdom and insight. So my perspective may change in the future, but as of now, this is my perspective on who or what is God and what source has explained to me is the purpose of Earth and the human experience. So God is basically just the human word that we have created for all that is, for the source of all creation, the creator, right? God is everything, truly. If we all came for that one point of perfect creation, then everything is perfection. God is the sun, the moon, the stars, every human, every thought, every animal, right? You get the point here. God is in everything. So it's like the entire universe is the mind, body, and spirit of God, because God itself is not a physical thing. So there's nothing within or outside of you that does not embody the creator here. And it has been perfectly formed and perfectly synchronized. So when I say I've always had a deep connection with God, it in a way means I have a deep remembrance and a yearning for that point of creation from which we came. That longing for that wholeness, completion, and love, which is God. And we are all God in a sense. We're perfect expressions of the source. That's why for many people who are just waking up, it's a lot of the synchronicities, the numbers, those moments where like a song comes on the radio and lines up exactly with what you're feeling. And it feels like something outside of you is talking to you, is trying to get your attention. And those are those moments where you just feel in sync with everything. And this is not a coincidence. These moments are your souls remembering the source, remembering how perfectly synchronized everything is, and that you're exactly where you need to be for it to line up that way. They're little hints being thrown at you, reminders like, hey, we're here. And it's actually almost you calling out to yourself in a sense. And, that's why a lot of people, I mean, if you look at humans, right, we always try to fill a void constantly with relationships, drugs, alcohol, all sorts of things. We're always trying to fill this void because something is missing and we can't explain what it is. What is that is missing? And it's that illusion that has been created of separation from the source. It's just an illusion. Okay? So now that we've established God is everything, God is the dark, God is the light. I mean, how can that be denied if God created everything? Then there is no power that conquers God. There is no darkness that could conquer God or evil that could conquer God, because it all came from God. So, now that we've established that, why did we forget this connection, right? What is the purpose of this creation? And if we are God, and God is the purest point of creation, why is there so much evil and darkness on the planet? So, the purpose of Earth and physicality was to one day remember we are individual expressions of God, and to ultimately experience heaven or God on earth in a physical body. Okay? So think of God creating this. And in order for us to even acknowledge God and to acknowledge a heavenly feeling or a heaven or angels or any of this, in order for us to even be conscious of that, we needed physicality. Outside of this, there is no physicality. So it's you can't even comprehend. It just is. Okay? But in order to get to this point, to experience God in a physical body and to gain the wisdom we needed, well, we first had to gain that wisdom, right? And experience everything needed to achieve this goal here. And in order to do this, there had to be an illusion of separation, because if we knew exactly where we came from, this whole thing would not work out. So it's just an illusion of separation. Though your intuition, your soul, God is always guiding you through every mistake. Those mistakes had to be made. And at the same time, it's important to remember there are no mistakes, just opportunities to learn and grow. Just as young children make mistake after mistake, we've all done it. These are needed for them to learn, just like a soul. That's what we do. And as parents, we don't necessarily look at them as mistakes, because the children are just too young to know any better. And that's very similar to, the relationship between a loving parent and a child is very similar, if not identical, to the relationship between humans and God. And time is just a human perception here. So to us, this whole process took billions of years. But to God, it happened instantaneously. So what's actually happening right now is we're experiencing that moment when that original intent of God, which was to experience, for God to be experienced in a physical body, is about to occur for the entire planet. And the reason I know this, I know what that heavenly euphoric feeling even feels like, is because it was shown to me. I have felt it several times in my life, and there's nothing that compares to it. There's no way I could ever even go back after experiencing it, because it's a feeling that you've never felt before in a physical body. You didn't even think you could feel that good. There's no words for it. There's no drug. There's nothing that could even compare to what it feels like when you're just embodying God and completely one with God in a physical body. You get to use all your senses, all these beautiful physical senses that were created for us to experience that. And I know many people think this sounds like a fairy tale. You're in La La Land. You are crazy. Hey, that's okay. I enjoy feeling this way, and I cannot deny what was shown to me and what I felt. It was a real feeling. So everything that I'm talking about, I personally can back up for myself because I felt it, and it was confirmed over and over through synchronicities and things lining up for my life. In times I was protected and guided. Okay? we are here to experience this. And what's happening with the planet right now is it's shifting. It's shifting. We're moving to a place, a frequency or a vibration, just a higher state of consciousness where we get to experience this finally, and it gets to stay. Not like with me, where I'd get the feeling and it comes and goes. This is coming to stay. So what's happening, what we're seeing in our outer reality right now is the foundation crumbling. The old foundation crumbling, because we're moving up to a new place. And a lot of people will look at this as the return of Jesus, or many different religions will look at this differently, but it all means the same thing. The return of God, right? The remembrance of God. So all the anger and the sadness and the fear and everything that is really being brought up right now, full force, is coming up because we're getting close, very close to that pinnacle moment where that actual shift occurs, right? So it's getting more intense because as more light comes in, as God's light starts coming in here, the darkness, it's almost kind of like the witch in the Wizard of Oz, right? When you put water on the witch, that's kind of what's occurring right now. So the darkness is like, no, because it knows its time has come, right? But in a sense, you have to remember if it was all created for a purpose. So just like, a human has a shadow side and then a higher self, so does the entire universe here. And having both does not mean we're imperfect. And truly, there's only an illusion of duality. There's only an illusion of good or bad, yes or no, things like that. Because it's all one, ultimately. And I was actually listening. I can't remember where I heard this, but it's just how we're perceiving everything. So the way we put, like, let's say a cat, there's the head of the cat and the rear of the cat, okay? And we separate those into two pieces of that cat, but really it's part of one cat. So that kind of helped explain it a little bit for, when it just made sense to me when I heard that. Yeah. And I know a lot of people think, we're in this spiritual battle. In a sense, we are. In a sense, we are, yes. Because the darkness is really fighting hard to keep its existence right now. Even though it's inevitable, this is a natural process God planned for us. But that's how we're going to see this play out in our actual physical reality. A lot of people think there's an evil entity that pulls you away from God, and it's just yourself. It's your shadow self, your fear. These are all internal things that we all feel, okay? Just like the devil and the angel on your shoulder here. Those are both you, okay? They're both you. And both are needed for you to acknowledge. You wouldn't even be able to comprehend what bliss and euphoria feels like if you didn't first experience the opposite. Like I said before, it would just be. So, and as I have always said, it's like, if God is the creator of all, how would any other force be able to overpower God? Why does anyone give something else credit that could defeat the light and love and the power of God? That's not right. It doesn't resonate at all with me. God always wins. There truly isn't a battle, but if we're going to go there, wouldn't God win? God is the creator. So what do we have to be afraid of right now? It's just a natural process that's occurring right now because we're actually shifting. This is the moment God intended for us, was to be able to experience God itself in a physical body, just as Jesus did. Just as Jesus did. And there's so much more that goes into this, and I can't sum everything up. I mean, the science, the mathematics, it all lines up with everything I'm talking about. So this was just kind of to initially make people think, who are just possibly waking up, and do some research. Look into this. Ask those questions. And that's all I did my whole life. And God did show me. Okay? And so just remember that there's nothing to be afraid of. It is all an illusion, but it was an illusion created for us to one day wake up and remember who we are. And that feeling when you actually wake up, I know many of us are waking up to the truth of things happening on our little planet right now, but there is so much more to wake up to than just that. There is so much more about yourself, going within and asking those questions. Okay. So I hope this helped. Definitely do your research about a lot of this that I talked about. As I said, many of my current subscribers, this is stuff you guys already know. This is us as light workers. We're aware of this, but there are many people just waking up. And I want those of you who are just waking up to know I am here for you. And I'm here to share my experience and my knowledge. And yeah, so I hope this helps somebody. And I will talk to you all soon. Okay, bye.